Dear world, so today there was a family cookout, and they wanted me to be there, but the whole group of people thing makes me real uncomfortable after a minute, and I don't have a ride right now, so I would have to go and wait until they were done to get home. And I know that's very selfish of me not to go when they want me to be there, but there was going to be enough people there that I knew I was going to feel uncomfortable. And without putting that tension on myself, I decided to avoid the situation. To give you another little brief example of just happened this week, I was playing Overwatch on PlayStation 4. And I've got a few people that I play regularly with, but we was playing with a new group. Me and my best friend Chris, we was playing with a new group of guys. There was a group of 5, and we were winning. We were kicking ass and taking names, and that's one of the reasons why I stuck around so long. But especially playing competitive, it's so hard to put together a good team playing competitive. But when the game's not going, we're picking our characters and everything. Everything's cool. Everything's great. We're just goofing off, having fun, picking at each other, and it was great. Good group of guys. But when the game started, then they're just calling out and they're trying to get people to do their job right. I get it, and I fucked up a couple of times, but just all the yelling and the finger pointing and the arguing. At one point, Chris had to tell a dude to chill. He was trying to tell him how to play his character and everything, and he was like, "Bruh, chill out." And that's cool, that's fine, and we played with them for a minute. I'm not saying I played one game with them and backed out. No, we played like 10, 11, 12 games. And it just got to a point where I was getting more and more uncomfortable when the game started, and it was taken away from the fun for me of playing the game. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed winning, so I stuck around a little longer than I normally would. But I ended up, in the end, I had to back out because I was starting to feel anxious playing a video game, and it was just all the yelling and stuff going on in my ears. But I even tweeted about it, and if you haven't followed me yet, follow me at Kotah, that's COTAH, at Kotah_the_great. And I tweeted that, I sent him a text too about it because I thought I worded it good, because I don't words good. I don't words good, boss. Never have been able to. It always sounds better in my head, and then when I try to get it out, it gets lost in translation somewhere from my brain to my mouth. But I tweeted out that I could only take so much saltiness before I need to cleanse my palate. And it was just the fact that when we would lose, it was just a lot of finger pointing, and that's fine. It just gets at you after a while, and it probably gets at me a little sooner than anyone else because I get anxious about it. But that's another example of just happened this week of me saying, "Pump the brakes. I can't be here right now." And the cookout would have been. There would have been tension without there being an initial trigger of tension. There's just history with me and some of the family members that were going to be there that I haven't been able to let go of, that I believe plays a big part in what has made me, good or bad. And me and this person hasn't talked about it. And we've tried to squash it, and it always feels good when we try to squash it, but in the end, I always feel like I have to walk on eggshells, and it's just one comment away from it being all about let's verbally beat up Cody. And I'm not trying to play a victim here or anything like that. I'm just telling you that's how it's been. Like, you have them family members that are just that way, that just because my path hasn't led me the same direction your path has doesn't mean that I'm done with my journey. That's probably the best way I could put it. And I would like to lighten things up now because I keep doing all this depressing stuff. And really, when I write music, my best work comes out of depression. And I've come to realize that when it comes to me doing music, that's probably my gimmick. Everyone's got a gimmick that gets them out there and that their best work comes out of. For me, I think it's going to be digging into my depression and anxiety and the bipolar and all that stuff. And I've even been diagnosed as borderline personality disorder, but I don't throw that out there because there's no real cure for borderline personality disorder. Just that was my first diagnosis before they diagnosed me as manic bipolar. But to lighten things up a little bit, I have come up with this crazy theory. I believe in aliens, right? I believe aliens have been here before. So, bear with me. Atlantis. Everyone knows the story of Atlantis. And there's a lot of crackpot theories out there. I've went through the theories before, and I cannot remember off the top of my head because I had them wrote down. I was going to do a whole episode dedicated to it, but I couldn't find enough material to work with it. So I'm just going to stick to what I think Atlantis was. I think Atlantis was real. I think there really was an advanced civilization that up and vanished. Now, I do not believe Atlantis was an island or a piece of land or anything like that. I think Atlantis was a ship that was in the ocean. And the surface of the ship is where the people lived and communed and everything. And I believe that they seen how self-destructive man is, and they were just like, I can't do this anymore. Deuces. I'm out. And people laugh when I say stuff like that, and they're like, oh, you're not the only one that thinks that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not the only one that thinks that. But I think it's interesting when you start reading up on stuff like that. I like things that make you think. Things that make you go, that doesn't sound that believable, but at the same time, I can't say it's not, because your theory is no better than mine. So, anyways, I just wanted to lighten it up a little bit and get that out there and just apologize, really, to my family that wanted me out there. They did bring me home food, so, I mean, it was good. Had me a couple of burgers. Hell yeah. I enjoyed it. It was just the having to communicate and walk on eggshells, and I would put myself in anxious situations, not on purpose, but I know being there how I was going to feel. And I know you're probably going to say that you can't keep running from this and you got to do that, and that's cool and everything, but I'm 30 years old. It's not like I've been running from this. I've been dealing with this. And so I start realizing these certain circumstances where I realize that there's an unnecessary risk. This, to me, not being properly medicated right now, because I didn't like the person I was taking the medication. It made me feel numb as far as feelings in general. It didn't just cut out the anger. It cut out everything, and I was more of like a jerk and I didn't fly off the handle, but there was no filter to say, don't say that. And I was just, when I would say it, I knew I should feel like bad for saying it, but I didn't. And that was the medicine, like suppressing emotions, and I just didn't like that. So I would rather feel bad for what I said than not feel bad at all. And that's what lithium would do, man. It just suppress everything. But I forgot what I was talking about. Welcome to being ADD, people. My mind wanders. That's why you see me looking around. I'm trying to think of where I was at. But anyways, I just unnecessary risk. I started saying that with little things, like with driving. I started saying that when I would ride with people because I don't got a driver's license. I got a ticket in the county I was wrestling in, and I didn't get a chance to pay it, and now I'm not working, so the state has my license. But I used to tell people, they'd say, why are you being a backseat driver? I'm not trying to be a backseat driver. You're just taking unnecessary risk. Instead of trying to rush out there and get the spot, wait until the spot's open. So I started using unnecessary risk in a lot of things, and today, to me, would have been an unnecessary risk. And I apologize to the family that wanted me to be there, but to stop me from feeling on edge the entire time, and making it awkward for other people, because I know I can make it awkward. I don't try to make it awkward. It just happens. And sometimes I start talking and then I ran out of what I was thinking about talking. So then my mouth just starts going with what's coming out my head. And by the time I've realized that I'm not making any sense, I'll just stop. I'll just be like, nah, I don't know, don't worry about it. Or I'll say a line that I love to say so much, and that is, I'm just talking out my ass, ain't nothing but shit coming out. And anyway, those are one of them little things that I live by. I get these little sayings that you'll hear time and time again, but that's one of them, that I'm just talking out my ass, ain't nothing but shit coming out. Anyways, so get that out there, get that off my chest. Use this episode of Dear World as my online journal, online diary, online whatever the fuck you want to call it. But this is me putting myself out there. If you want to communicate with me on a live basis, I stream regularly. I don't have a regular time, which I know is a no-no in the world of online streaming, but in this household there is 5 people, and we need a new microwave. Let me explain why. I did a little research because the microwave keeps kicking out the Wi-Fi. But the microwave works on the same similar wavelength as the Wi-Fi, and the way I read it, if I read it correctly, is like there's a radiation shield that's might be damaged, and it could be what's causing it, where the Wi-Fi runs on 2.5 gigahertz and the microwave runs on like 2.4 gigahertz, and it will interrupt the signal of the Wi-Fi, and it'll boot me off the internet. And there's nothing more annoying than when I'm live streaming and I get booted off the internet. That hurts my fan base, and I can't build one that way. So during the week, you can usually catch me midday streaming or late night streaming. And on the weekends, I don't stream all that much because, I live with 5 people and they're here. And so I don't want to tell them, hey, you can't use the microwave. I do sometimes go ask them, can you refrain from using the microwave for the next couple hours? And they'll do that for me. But I can't just do it all the time. I feel like it's kind of a dickish move to tell them you can't use the microwave, you can't cook yourself food, because I want to live stream. So the times you can catch me live streaming video games, or even behind the scenes doing some work on my videos and my skits, whether I'm writing music or I'm going to start live streaming just when I'm sitting at home writing music when I'm doing this, because I can draw ideas from anything. And so if you want to have a live conversation with me, you can catch me live streaming during midday or late night during the week. So I'm going to end it right there. I hope you like and subscribe, and I hope you follow me on the Twitters. I be tweeting, trying to get that Twitter game going, at Kota_the_great. I appreciate you listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Here's just breaking off a little piece of myself for the internet. Here you go.